Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So basically, Dolores is at home. They are getting ready for dinner. Well, Dolores calls it an informal dinner. I believe her daughter's name is Gabby. She's a doctor. I believe she's a veterinarian. But so Gabby, Dr. Gabby, I think it's so cute that Dolores calls her doctor. You can tell she's proud. It's really, really cute. But Gabby and her son live with Dolores until the renovations on her old home are finished, and then they're going to move into that home. Also, Frank is going to move into that home too. I think one of the concerns is Frank having a revolving door, all right, attached to his bedroom, and women just coming in and out. I think that came up in discussion. I hope that's not the case. Well, everyone is grown, right? Frank is grown, Gabby is grown. The Frank Sr., the daddy, he grown. Everybody's grown, but I still think no one wants to wake up every Saturday morning or Sunday morning and it's a different woman walking out the house with her shoes in her hand and mascara running down her face. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't had a good time the night before. Like, no. So I'm hoping that Frank has a little bit of, just kind of like, we all grown, but I'm not supposed to be doing this all in front of my kids now. And my kids ain't about to be doing that in front of me either, okay? Even though he probably wouldn't care about his son. Anyways, one thing I noticed is Frank is a cute guy, but his arms look small to me. His arms don't look small to y'all. His arms look small to me. Go back and watch that scene in the kitchen when they were eating. Frank's arms are small. Anyway, so Gia has a sweatshirt line. I forgot the name of the line. Remember that song she made some years ago when she was wake up in the morning, wake up in the morning. Girl, she could have just went on and sung some Karen. Was it Karen White? Early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. Yeah, Melania. Let me go ahead and get them out the way. I'm not even gonna go into all that. I get that though, that Joe Giudice is, okay, let me say this much. I'm getting ahead of myself. In Melania's defense, I don't think it's fair that because Gia has come to some type of resolve with her uncle, that now all of a sudden Melania kind of just needs to kind of like let it go. Because that's what I got from the conversation with Teresa, Gia, and Melania, was because we've had the conversation, it's time to let it go and move on. You're kind of like, I took it as though they were dismissing Melania's feelings, right? Because if Melania ain't over it, then she ain't over it, okay? Right? And because you happen to have a conversation, you don't speak and think for everybody, clearly. Because if you did, Melania wouldn't feel the type of way that she feels. You can tell that Gia plays the big sister. I mean, she is the big sister. With that being said, I get that Joe Giudice is Melania's father. I don't know if Melania skipped over seasons 1 through 11 or 1 through 10 and she just started watching season 11. But for her to be so upset and bothered by the arguments that happened between Joe and Teresa, brother and sister, but you are just letting whatever happened with your father and your mother just kind of like go to the wayside, is a problem in itself. That lets me know that, I mean, clearly she's a child, but she's not living in reality. There's no way you could be this hurt over what your uncle has said but girl, you're just kind of like, my dad is off the table. But girl, your daddy ain't shit. Joe Gorga, there's a possibility that he ain't either, right? You gotta have I got my good eye on Joe anyways, because Melissa said something at the party that Evan and Jackie threw, that Joe can't drink tequila because he gets crazy. So I don't know what happened seasons 1 through 11. I mean 1 through 10, because I watched last season, the full season in a reunion. I've seen Joe cut up. I've seen the fights and all that stuff between him and Joe. But I don't know what Joe doing over there in Jersey when he get that tequila in his system. But Melissa let us know that he couldn't drink tequila that night because he gets crazy. Anyways, Melania can feel the way that she wants to feel, girl. Your daddy ain't shit. This is what it come down to. And one day, hopefully she'll see it. If not, I mean, maybe she'll marry a man just like her daddy. Girl, let me know how that prison stint go. And let me know how it goes when your future husband, who just like your daddy, who you seem to adore, girl, is calling you all types of bees and cunts. I mean, somebody needs to tell a little girl. She's a little girl. I have to keep that in mind. She's only, 14 to 15? So that's why I'm giving her a little bit of grace. Now that Gia, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not mad at Gia for having... This is the problem that I had with that whole situation last week that I forgot to mention. Gia is grown, but you still have to pacify Gia. That's just what it is. Because the truth of the matter is, if Joe Gorga handled Gia the way that we've seen him and Teresa handle each other, it would have been... The Twitter world and the YouTube world would have been on fire, because people still would have said Joe is wrong because that's his niece. He's supposed to be a father figure. Why is he talking to his niece like that, right? People will then start pulling the niece, she's younger than you card. I don't know why Gia was out there with them grown folks anyways. Them people in their 40s and 50s and 60s. Gia didn't have no business out there, girl, mingling around with them grown people, because if a conversation came up about Joe Giudice and Joe Gorga, who we know can't stand Joe, started going off, then it would have been another problem. Gia can feel the way that she wants to feel. I don't care about her basically letting her uncle know I'm grown, because technically she is. But also I know that if Joe would have gave it to Gia the way that, you know, we've seen him and Teresa go back and forth, it would have been a big old problem, which then comes back to me. Gia shouldn't have been out there in the first place. We shooting a TV show, and we know how these shows go. So if you don't want to hear nobody talk about your daddy, then baby, you need to go in the house. Because if he come up in conversation, I'm not biting my tongue for the nigga who sent my sister to prison. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's just a whole mess, because it's like those are his nieces. And it's his responsibility to make sure that the relationship between him and his nieces don't go to the left, right? Because he already said that he was going to be a father figure and all that stuff. But I think it starts to get complicated, because when we start to talk about the person who happens to be your father, who I can't stand, the ground he walks on, then that's when it's like, ooh, girl. And if did Melania skip this? Did I ask y'all this? Did Melania skip the seasons 1 through 10, or did she just watch last season? Did she ain't been there? She ain't seen the stuff that her daddy did? And girl, that's her daddy, girl. Melania, Gia, all y'all find a man just like y'all daddy, because I'm tired of them. The men go out to eat. I like the men on this show. They are misogynistic. They are sexist. They do give you very barbaric vibes, but they seem like they are fun to hang around. Like, I wouldn't want to hang around none of the guys from Potomac or Atlanta. Those are the shows I watch, because they don't seem like they're fun. Like, this group of guys, they seem like they're fun. Like, they don't have a problem going out and ordering a martini. Y'all do know for a fact, there are men out there who will not order a martini because of the glass that it comes in. I remember I saw something online. This black man wanted a martini, but he wanted it in a different glass because he felt like the glass was a woman's glass. Like, it's stuff like that where it's like, girl, what are y'all talking? Like, I just feel like this group of guys, they like to have fun. They just like to have fun. And that's just what it comes to. Like they like to have fun. Anyway, so JoJo and Frank go out for drinks. Frank, the biggest one at the table, order a martini. I thought that was so cute. They talk about I think they were talking about masturbation. He said that he cheated on Dolores. Dolores was the best wife. He cheated. What did he say? Men cheat because it happens. No, men cheat because most of the time women usually forgive. Okay? Now, some of them go out there and cheat on your back. You just never know. So don't get it twisted, sirs. Okay? Y'all think y'all out here slanging dick. But girl, your wife out there slanging puss. Okay? Some of them ain't stupid. Some of them doing some real good get back with a big dick nigga named James. The niggas who names be James and Kevin, they be having them big old things. James. I always remember, honey, the ones named James be having big old things. Anyways, Joe has not reached out to Bill. I mean, really and truly, there's really no reason to. I mean, the truth of the matter is Marge and Jen are beefing. What am I going to call you and say? Hey, are you okay? I know my wife just told the whole world that you cheated on your wife. Like, what am I supposed to say? But because quiet as it's kept, Joe probably think if I was Joe, I wouldn't care. Because at this point, you've called my wife a slut, and she might be one, but your husband one too. Right? And from what I understand now, Joe and Margaret, they were cheating on their spouses with each other. So it sounds like it's a group full of sluts and whores. Miss Jennifer. Okay? Jackie and Evan. Is that Jackie and Evan? Yeah, Evan. They go out to eat. I knew something was up with Jackie. I had been noticing that because I've seen episodes before, like prior to last season. Like I remember they went out and they got into it. I think Jennifer and Jackie got into it because, was it because somebody mentioned something about her not eating? I remember one episode I saw them, Jackie got upset because somebody mentioned her not eating. And I mentioned to y'all last week, that bitch don't be eating. Now I'm coming to find out, y'all told me too in the comment section, but now it was, well, y'all confirmed it for me, but you know, I saw it on the show that she has an eating disorder. It's really, really sad. Because I was like, baby, that girl, remember I was like, girl, she is skinny. Like I was looking at her last week. Yeah, I was looking at her last week when she was standing in her kitchen with those brown tights on. I said, mama is like nobody. Like, no shape. Just pretty girl, but she is small. And then when they showed when they showed her wedding picture, the wedding picture was very, very blurry. But you could tell she was just skin and bones. Well, she has an eating disorder. And it's very, very sad. And I felt like, for me, not to make it about Evan, but I feel like Evan did a good job, well, in this episode, at least. He did a good job in showing support to Jackie, right? He was there, he listened, he let her know that he loved her. She said she's ready for therapy. He was like, that's great, let's go, let's get it, basically let's start, right? Because it's a sad situation when you think about it because you have someone who you love and you really Evan can't do nothing about Jackie's illness. The only person that can really do something about it is Jackie and, I guess, the help that she receives. It's sad. And then she was like, she started crying because she didn't notice she didn't know the kids had noticed the things that she ate. Jackie, bitch, I noticed what you wasn't eating off one episode. So, girl, like, how the fuck, girl, that's what y'all be talking about, girl? Like, you been sitting here and tell me you really did not think that your kids had noticed that you eat the same thing, or you really don't eat that much, and they are around you every day, or at least every day, almost every day. So then she started tearing up, and you know, basically what it comes down to is she gonna get some help. Hopefully she receives the help, right? And she accepts the help. She said she was ready to go. So it's not like anybody is forcing her. It's kind of like when you force somebody to go to rehab and it really doesn't work, because it's like the person doesn't want to go anyway. So like, girl, why are you forcing this person to go to rehab? They don't want to be here, right? Anyways, Jackie tells Jennifer that Dolores isn't a good friend to her. I put Louis is really, really cute. You can tell maybe that place that he went to when all those men was standing there with their shirts off, the girl would have had a good time. But girl, when all those men was standing there with their shirts off, maybe that was one of those situations where, because clearly based off of the way that Louis spoke in this episode, you could come to the conclusion, well, I came to the conclusion that he used to be trifling and he wasn't in touch with his feelings, and now he has turned over a new leaf. Like they say, the best apology is change behavior. And now he is, like Teresa said, he likes to talk about his feelings. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. At least it sounds like to me, communication should not be an issue if Teresa is on the same page. So that's a good thing. Joe, I ain't gonna lie, Joe had me cracking up, even though Joe, that just goes to show that Joe, just like probably a lot of families, people, you know, sometimes they don't know how to communicate if it's not yelling, chaos, and confusion. Because Joe swore up and down he didn't understand what Louis was trying to say. Girl, I understood the first time I watched it what he was trying to. I watched the episode twice, once to, you know, watch it, then another time to take notes. I was like, oh, girl, Joe, one of those. Girl, I could check, girl, you come from the family, like he said, girl, they used to yelling and all that. So when you got somebody who's sitting here basically telling you just straight on what it is, you're just kind of like, huh? What? Right, because you used to beating on tables, Joe. Joe said something that had me roll my eyes when he said, I can say whatever I want to you, but as family, basically, because we're family, I could say whatever I want to you, but in 5 minutes, we should be over it. Joe, are you really saying that? Because if Gia said, you almost had a fit last week when Gia sat across from you and was mumbling under her breath. You done had a fit and walked and stormed off, ma'am. Okay? So I'm not exactly sure why now all of a sudden I know what it is, because you talking about your peers. You talking about people who you look as your equal, like your sister, your niece, I mean not your niece, your wife, your friends, right? I'm here to let y'all know y'all ain't saying whatever y'all want to say to me. Okay? Ain't nobody talking to me the way they want to talk to me and think I'm going to be over it in 5 minutes. That's for my mama. That's for my grandmama. That's for my uncles. That's for my cousins. That's for my sisters. That's for my nieces. That's for my brother-in-law. That's for y'all. Okay? That's for y'all. That's for anybody. Ain't nobody talking to me crazy and think I'm going to be over it in 5 minutes. Because if you talk to me crazy, depending on what you say, honey, you might as well go ahead and cut the cord. Because ain't no coming back from it. Because, baby, who holds the grudge is Rodney. You better ask about me. I don't play those games. I don't even get on here and say what I really want to say. I say what now when I hit this click button and I call my sister, bitch, okay? But y'all, I don't do that. I feel like if that's what you're gonna go by, that's fine. Especially if you're dealing with an enemy, that's completely different. Because when you enemies, girl, I believe there ain't no line and I believe it ain't no such thing as a line you don't cross. Girl, we enemies, girl. You can say what you want to say to me, and I'm gonna say what I want to say to you. But family, people you care about, and y'all know I have said this for the longest. You have to watch what you say. You have to watch what you say to your family and your friends. Y'all gonna stop thinking that just because we family and friends, we gonna bounce back. Because I'm not bouncing shit. I'm gonna get my keys and bounce out the door. You'll never see my face again. Anyway, that got me worked up, man. We ain't seen Bill since episode 1. All we heard was his voice. Bill, don't be shamed now. You wasn't shamed when you was around town smashing that whore. Now you embarrassed. Now you don't want to show your face. Now you making your wife. That's the real gag. That's the real gag if y'all really want to talk about it. See, I'm new to this. I'm not true to this. Bill is a typical nigga. Okay? Bill, you done sit out here, embarrass your wife, and now your wife have to go around and basically, girl, deal with it. That's the real gag about this whole situation. Jennifer, you have embarrassed your family. You have embarrassed your wife, Bill. You have embarrassed your kids, right? And now Jennifer has to walk around and deal with what you created. But I don't feel sorry for Jennifer either, because Jennifer, what I done seen, you and Marge got mouths on both of y'all. Okay, but both of y'all got a mouth. Girl, I low-key was going up for Jennifer last year, especially at that reunion when she called Jack and Miriam Webster. Was that Jackie when she called Miriam Webster, girl? When I ain't gonna lie, girl, I was going up for Jennifer last year. That Jennifer, when she called that girl, when she was like, when she told Marge, when they was going back and forth, and she was like, I'll let Teresa tell you. And she was smirking, all that. This is my type of messy bitch I like. You hear me? Jennifer was sitting across there smirking and smiling and cheesing. But see, that's what you get. That's what you get. Because you didn't know Marge was sitting right over there on go. You didn't know Marge was waiting for those cameras to start. Then, quiet as is kept, if you really go back and watch the first episode, Marge really didn't have no reason to say that, quiet as is kept. I think Marge just wanted to say it. I'm sorry. When I watched that episode again, I think Marge really could have held off on saying that. But Marge was like, okay, girl, let me go ahead and get the party started. But I don't feel sorry for Jennifer. The way that Miss Tracy over there trying to act, no, that's not how this works. This is the thing. Tracy and Tiki. I don't know, what's his name? Tiki? We're going to start calling him T-Rex. I told y'all Tiki look like a cute dinosaur. He do. We're going to call him T-Rex. But Tracy and Tiki. I don't know what's going on between you and, what happened between you and Tracy, or you and Tiki, Miss Tracy. But the math ain't mathing for a lot of us. It ain't just me. It's the cousins too. Because they was telling me in the comment section that you trying to make us believe that 1 + 1 equals, girl, 7. And we know it equals 2. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of Tracy and Tiki's situation, but what I'm telling y'all, it don't sound right. It don't sound right to me that Tiki, out the blue, or whoever decided to leave whomever in a relationship. Most people I just feel like most wives, when they're pregnant, they're really not going to up and leave their husband. And they had how many children together already? So as far as I was concerned, and I could be wrong, Tiki left his pregnant wife, and then she said 4 or 5 months later, they either met or they were together. Either way, it's still a trifling. Tiki says you never want stuff like that to go public. Well, Tiki, don't cheat, nigga. How about that? Or how about you don't leave your wife when she's 8 weeks pregnant and then meet another woman 4 or 5 months later? How about you hold off if you don't want those things to go public? And another thing too, I got a bone to pick with Tiki. This is the most important bone that what I got to say is Tiki. I want Tiki to relax. Tiki. Every time I have seen you pop on my TV screen, you have had on a button down. I don't know what it is that you in button downs. Tiki, you are going to a frat a flashback Friday party, a throwback Thursday party. You were going to a keg party, and Tiki walked in with a crisp button-down shirt, collar, sleeves rolled up. Tiki, are you going to a PTA meeting? Did you just get off of work? And I know you didn't just get off work because I saw you in the bedroom ironing your shirt. Like, Tiki, and you got a nice body? Put you on one of them tight t-shirts that Jonelle be wearing. Anyways, Marge is messy. That's a messy bitch. That's all messy. That's all messy. Girl, so Dolores, she basically said, I think that Dolores would be the person that Joe would marry if she died. Or when she dies. If she died before Joe. Because we all gonna die. Melissa mentions that Joe has a big penis. Yeah. Melissa mentions that Joe has a big penis. Y'all gonna stop telling. Y'all gonna stop telling. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only person you might not have to worry about in that group is Tracy. Because she like her meat a little dark. Okay? No, but for real, girl, stop telling people y'all men's penis size. But anyway, so Marge says Dolores told her that Joe had a big penis too. Dolores says that it's not true. For some reason, I feel like Dolores is lying. I feel like Marge is not making that up. I feel like Dolores probably told Marge that one day and she just doesn't remember. But I don't think Marge is just making it up. Could be wrong. Anyways, I think it's cute. I thought it was cute how like Dolores, was hanging on to Joe. I really think it's cute. Oh, another thing too I love this. When they all walked into Louis' home and everybody was kissing each other on the cheek. Oh my God, I thought that was so cute. Like everybody, like the men kissing the men on the cheek, the women kissing, like I thought it was so cute. Anyways, Tracy is defending Jennifer. Girl, it's really, I don't know. I just, from what I've seen, it looks like Jennifer and Marge, they go for each other's jugular. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, it sounds like those girls are going for blood. And it just so happened that Jennifer, girl, this go around, you won at that reunion. I'm gonna give it to Jennifer. Jennifer won at that reunion last year. And Marge knew you had won. And that's why she said, I'm getting this bitch season 12. Bitch, we starting off with a bang-ang. Marge said we starting off with a bang-ang season 12. Anyways. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Dolores. Dolores and Jackie. I don't think Dolores was wrong. Okay, this is why I think Dolores was wrong at. And she did remind me of Cynthia. When she did not want to say who she was closer to. Girl, it's okay. Just be like, yeah, I'm closer to Marge, but I'm still friends with Jennifer. This is how I remember this whole thing happening. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, at least from this season. The whole Jennifer stuff, the whole Marge and Jennifer stuff happened. Dolores told Jennifer that Marge was wrong for doing that. Dolores then turned around and told Marge, yeah, I said that you were wrong. But now since I hear what you're telling me about Jennifer going around town trying to find dirt, or I guess trying to find out the information about what happened to Evan and Jackie, it's like, girl, you got some nerve. Especially when you're sitting over here with your own skeletons in your closet. Fast forward to the party. At that point, I think Dolores was like, Jennifer, cut all that crying out because we're not doing that. You walking around here, even though I do believe Jennifer to a certain degree that, girl, she was just being nosy, right? She was just being nosy. But I think in this housewife world, where we know the girls be looking for dirt, and at any time, girl, on Mad Day, they go throw it in your face. You see how Marge did Jennifer? She been sitting on that shit. Marge been sitting on ready, okay? So it's like, you really never know. But I don't think that Dolores is not like a less of a friend to I think that she is closer friends with Marge, but I don't think that she was wrong in the way that maybe she could have been a little bit softer, I guess, but I don't think she was wrong. I think she was telling Jennifer, girl, shut up. Girl, hush. Because you was just here the other day trying to find dirt trying to find out what the tea was about Jackie and her husband. And this whole while, you've been sitting over here with your trifling husband. You've been sitting here calling people hoes and sluts, talking about everybody else's marriage, acting like Bill is the next best thing to Barack Obama. And girl, he ain't no better than nobody else man in the group. That's where I think Dolores was coming from. At first I had your back, but now since I know what's going on, girl, shut up. But I still love you, but girl, shut up. Am I wrong? That's where I think Dolores was coming from. So for Jackie to be like, oh, she's really not your friend, I'm side-eyeing Jackie. Because Jackie, you almost had a goddamn fit at Dolores' house when you heard them mention your name and about what Jennifer was trying to do. So I'm side-eyeing you, Miss Jackie. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when Jackie got into Dolores' face, and when Dolores told her, I don't need to hear from this. I said, come on, this. I said, come on, cousin, this. I know it's cousin, yeah. Jackie said, you gonna respect me? And then what's her face said, right now, I don't feel like it. Dolores said, right now, I don't feel like it. I said, I know that's right. Anyways, then it went off. I'll talk to y'all girls. This review was too long. Girl, bye.